Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, I wanted to talk about a book called Triptrisha Viveka, which is a small book written by the famous Advaitic scholar called Adi Shankaracharya, who was famously the founder of Advaita Vedanta Foundation, and he is considered as a very highly revered enlightened being. And his approach to enlightenment was quite different from what the Buddhist scholars have talked about, and how the Shaiva tradition has followed, or even the Bhakta traditions. His approach was of intellectual seeing, which was he kind of revitalized that intellectual seeing, or direct inquiry into looking at this experience. And this this direct intellectual inquiry into this experience can lead a person to moments of clarity. In fact, reading his books, there are several of his books, and of course a lot of commentaries on Upanishads and all of the other famous texts like Ashtavakra Gita. But since I recently read this book, I wanted to talk about this book. And so his basic approach to enlightenment is the approach of knowledge, the, the approach of intellectual knowledge, a direct inquiry into the subjective experience, and looking at what emotions are, looking at what thoughts are, looking at this dream-like reality. And he emphasizes on knowledge more than any other paths to enlightenment, even meditation or bhakti. Or meditation is often very much highly recommended by the Buddhist traditions and by the Buddha himself, who emphasized on awareness, which is also a good path for ones who like to meditate, but for the ones who are more intellectual in nature, this path of inquiry can lead a person into the direct movement, direct experience of the self, or the direct experience of emptiness, or shunyata, or which in Advaita Vedanta is called fullness, or in contradiction to what Buddha was talking about as shunyata in Advaita Vedanta. We say that there is the emptiness is not really empty, it is all full of life, and that everything is pervaded by that fullness. This fullness that you are can be directly inquired into if we look at the experience that we are having right now with a clarity, with a focus, and with an inquisitive mind, with an investigative approach. When we look into this experience directly, when we see that we are Brahman, that we are this fullness, we are this aliveness, when we see this clearly, as clear as possible, when we see this by negating all the things that are illusory, by gaining the knowledge that all things are illusory in this experience, and the only reality that is the seer, is the sakshi, who is missing every single thing in this world. When you go through this with your mind, with a very investigative methodology, you will gain this moment of clarity, this moment where you become awareness. Of course, the path of inquiry does not stop there. It does not stop with a temporary identification with Brahman. The final attainment to be had is that this realization, this clarity becomes your whole life. This identity with the Brahman becomes your reality. Now, this is what the enlightened beings have strived for, and for them that is the reality. For us, this method can be very helpful in gaining this clarity even for temporary moments. And once you gain this clarity, you get a reference point from which whenever you alter, whenever you become unclear, whenever there is an unnaturalness, you can remove this unnaturalness, you can remove this act that is leading you towards more cloudedness, and try to gain this awareness, this 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 emptiness again and again. This will become your reference point, and you will always want to strive to be in this reference, in this self. Of course, you will sometimes have to go away from it altogether. Sometimes, even for a month, you will never experience the expansiveness of the self. Sometimes you will forget it. Sometimes, even if you meditate, even if you contemplate, it is not happening. Sometimes it is very natural for you. When you are feeling this awareness, when this unnaturalness or cloudedness, it is important to know that there is a barrier, an obstacle. And to overcome this obstacle, you will need to work. There is certainly work that is to be done, even though this is called the direct path to enlightenment. This whole method of Jnana Yoga, or this whole method of direct experience, is like a shortcut, or somehow it is perceived as a shortcut. It is a shortcut, of course, but it is not the final realization. In the final realization, you will live as if Aham Brahmasmi. You will live as if you are the reality. You will live as if you are emptiness, you are fullness, you are aliveness. And all your life will become somehow filtered. All the negative things in your life will go away. All the obstacles are removed, and the flow of the self is free now. It is ever continuous and flowing. So that's it for this video. I wanted to simply point out to this book, which you can order online. It is a very short book of about 100 verses, and it's a very meditative experience reading this book. Reading books like these are indirect methods of inquiry. If you cannot inquire for yourself, it is good to take support. It is good to take support of these sages who have gifted us with these teachings. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you like the video and subscribe to my channel for more videos on spirituality and philosophy. Thank you and Happy New Year.